Hey YouTubers, it's Nick540 here. It's been a while since I've done a video. A couple updates here. We've done some renos on our property here, and we have a new son as well. So now I have two boys. So life's been busy, to say the least. Our second son was born early May, so I haven't really had much of a chance to do videos or get into the metals, but I just want to talk a bit about investing and show you these new pieces I have. So I'll start with that. I got this really nice 10-ounce Heraeus bar, and you can see it's the serial code here, and it actually has a little certification of authenticity as well. If I can, sorry about the shakiness. There it is right here. So it's serial numbered. Not that that means a heck of a lot, but this came from Silver Gold Bill. And I also managed to get this 2021 really nice maple from Silver Gold Bill as well. And this 2021 American Silver Eagle. So, for those of you who remember, my goal of metals this year was to get 50 ounces of silver and 2 ounces of gold. I did get some gold. It's not in this video. I've put the gold away. I got a 1/10 ounce Canadian polar bear. And I do have some other gold and silver coming in August, so I'm going to expect a video then. But I want to talk about what I bought, or what I have been doing. I have been looking at other real estate as a potential investment, but I decided to put money into the stock market. In Canada, we use an app called Questrade, so I use an app called Questrade. I used to be with Bank of Montreal Investor Line, and I sold that off because the fees were too high, and now I'm with Questrade. And I've been buying Apple stock on the dips, and I really like getting those dividend payments. I also picked up Disney on the dip. I think that there's a lot of upside potential with them as well, with regards to their Disney app, and especially The Mandalorian and the continuance of that series, and other programs coming up on Disney Plus, and with theme parks opening again due to the pandemic kind of slowing down. So I did put some money into business. I put some money also into I think it's called Alternative Energy. I can't remember the ticker off the top of my head. I only bought 10 shares of that, and the shares were running around $20 when I bought, and they're already up to 22. Now, these are all dividend-paying stocks. And I also got some HEXO, which is a marijuana stock. Kind of missed the boat on that, so I only bought a few shares of that just to kind of round out the portfolio. So I've been putting money elsewhere. I am liking the dividend checks, and the dividend checks that you get from those stocks if you know what you're doing. And by no means do I know, I'm by no means an expert or anything like that, but I do have some financial education for sure, and I've taken securities courses and other things, following the market, done a lot of reading and research. So basically, I am confident enough to do stock markets without having to index most of my money with exchange traded funds or mutual funds or anything like that. So the dividends I'm getting, I also own Tim Hortons as well, which is Restaurant Brands International, QSR is their ticker. And I do get mostly in US dollars, some Canadian dollars, and mix dividend checks. So it's like getting paid, and it is getting paid. You know, some of them monthly, some quarterly, and when their earnings come in, I profit on that. And you know, a company like Apple isn't going anywhere in the near future. They're $1 trillion company, So, and as I said, I'm buying that on the dips, and then that money is kind of substituting some of the precious metals. So I'm just taking it instead of DRIP, which is a dividend reinvestment fund, I'm dripping it into the precious metals. That's why August you should see quite a bit more gold and silver. Not a ton, but whatever. We'll see what happens. It's hard to say, but I'm going to wait till next checks come in. Also, my birthday's around there, so we'll see what happens. So also I wanted to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I've missed doing videos, but it's been a hectic time. I still invest and love precious metals, but I think it's important not to have all your eggs in one basket. And that's what I'm doing here. And I've been a stock investor for a long time. I don't do options anymore. I find them too volatile. Calls, puts, forwards, futures, all that stuff. I have dabbled in it, but I like to hold a stock kind of more like Warren Buffett. And since I'm, fairly young, I can hold that stock and I have time on my hand in order to not only get dividends, but see the value hopefully rise or potentially fall. Depends on the stock. So Warren Buffett, when he buys stocks, he will take a company like Coca-Cola and hold it for a long time. And when he has extra money, he buys a bit more of the stock and a bit more until he has a very large percentage of ownership. Same with something like Bank of America. And in my cases, I'm looking at Apple might sell the Disney and move it into something else. But it's not a quick dollar, and that's why it works well for me and potentially you, because if you are in the precious metals market, you have patience. And it's the same principle applies to stocks unless you get very lucky on an IPO. So I don't hedge my wealth on becoming lucky on an IPO, but I have lucked out with Tim Hortons, which is Restaurant Brands. And I say Tim Hortons because I bought Tim Hortons as a single stock and it merged with Restaurant Brands and they bought me out 50%. And I got a large chunk of money, which is sitting in this property now from that. This was years ago. But it did pay very well. So I guess my message here is if you have time and patience and you look at what the dividend is and what the earnings of the company are, you don't have to get too technical, because technical analysis can run fairly deep in the market. But just keep it simple, stupid. You know the saying, right? And just utilize your knowledge and do your research and pick up a couple stocks that are dividend paying and drip that money into your metals. So instead of buying stuff, you're buying other investments and other assets that you can hold. That has worked for me for a while, and I think recently I've just upped my game with regards to stocks. Instead of throwing so much money into the precious metals, I have added more of that to purchase shares of stocks. Don't get me wrong, I also like to have some mutual funds and exchange traded funds that are indexed. And Vanguard has a good one, and there's a whole bunch of them. So just my 2 cents. It's been a while since I've spoken to you, so I thought I'd do a video. I hope you're all staying safe, and things are starting to look up a little bit with regards to the pandemic. So at least in Canada. So hopefully in your part of the world it is too. And I will see you all in the next video. I'd really appreciate a subscribe and a thumbs up. Thank you.